So I thought I'd do another update video. How things are going so far tonight. Um, Sorry, my hair's a mess. I got a haircut last time I was home on Thanksgiving, and short hair is kind of hard to manage when you're on the road a lot. So far things have been going okay. I've had problems with the truck. Bunch of issues with the emissions control system. I've had the truck for about 2 months now, I think. And out of that, I've spent 2.5 weeks in the shop overall. The last time I had it in the shop was because it had the check engine light for not being able to complete a regen, which is what it's had the check engine light for so far every single time. And what they did this time is when I brought it into the shop, I knew I was headed home and I was running low on DEF, but I knew I'd make it to the terminal. So I didn't think to top off the DEF before I put it in the shop because I didn't want to spend the money on the DEF in order to, just top it off, because it would have went on to the next settlement. I knew the next settlement was going to be meh because, I was going home. So, of course, the low DEF light was on. It still had DEF in it. It had about an eighth of a tank. So the idiots in the shop assumed I was a fucking moron and just put DEF in there and reset the codes. Even though I told them that check engine light had been on for almost a week. So I'm going to have to put it back in the shop. I also, when I put it in the shop, I wanted them to do the 13-speed conversion because I have the 8-speed or 9-speed in there now. And the 13-speed, you can do better fuel economy. And they didn't do it. They had it for, I want to say, 4.5 days. And they didn't do it. So I'm gonna have to put it in the shop again to have that done, and it's frustrating. Knight's shops are worse than Swift shops by far. The last time I had it in the shop, the air conditioning, the compressor seized, one of the fuel tank straps broke, and I had that same check engine light. It took them over a week actually, to fix those issues, because they prioritize the company trucks, and the shop manager at my terminal pretty much told me the same thing. They prioritize the company trucks. Because I asked her, I was like, well, I know when I know I'm going to be home, can I set up an appointment or whatever so that you guys can make sure you get it done? When I know I'm going to be at the terminal. She's like, no, I have to prioritize other things. If I have a bunch of trucks come in and they have simple issues and they're waiting on their trucks, I have to put them first, which is bullshit because, we were actually told that owner ops get priority. And it's supposed to be first come, first served, at the very least. Not, I bring my truck in and then these guys come in and they cut in line in front of me. That's BS. I'm a paying customer. I actually have to pay them to fix my truck, and it's frustrating as fuck. So far, that's been the only thing that's really annoyed me. I did have 1 week where I did extremely well. I did just over 3,000 miles. I ended up getting a $2,200 paycheck. This week, did about the same. We'll see how that goes out. My last paycheck was $42 because of being in the shop for a week. Luckily, it coincided with me being home, but the annoying thing is they didn't do what I asked them to do. Overall, the lease program at night is better. It's just their shops that are bad. Unless something changes, I may actually just opt out of that MRP program because it's not worth it. I'd rather put that money into a maintenance account and then go to dealerships than deal with their shop at this point. And I'm gonna talk to the owner operator division on Monday and discuss that with them. But overall, if I factor that out, it's a lot better here than it was at Swift, just mainly because the truck payment's so much lower. And when things go right, they tend to keep me rolling. This week, though, I do have one complaint. If you ever drive for night transportation, don't ever do a bales loads, like BEALLS. They're kind of like a miniature Target, I guess. But they told me it's driver assist. And I asked them what that meant, and they said, oh, well, you take a pallet jack, you go in, you take the pallet to the back of the door, and then they take it to the dock, because they're not allowed to go in your trailer. Oh, okay, that sounded okay. So I took the load. It was 2,200 miles, it was light, rock on. There was 3 stops, I get additional stop pay, and I get additional pay for the driver assist, so I figured it was worth it. I'd get about $300 extra altogether. Little did I know, I get to the first stop, because it was preloaded. I open the trailer, and it's floor-loaded boxes, like stuff. It's so stuffed full of stuff that the stuff is falling out when I open the door. And it's floor-loaded boxes, and it's like whoever loaded that trailer is like a Tetris master, because there's little boxes with big boxes, and it's just, oh God, no. And I had to take every box individually, one by one, to the front of the dock. And they weren't palletized. There's just boxes stuffed in there. It took me probably 4 hours, 5 hours at each stop to unload. Altogether, it was like, I want to say 1,800 boxes I had to unload by hand. It was about 18,000 pounds worth of cargo that I unloaded by myself. That's not worth that extra money. It really isn't. So I'm not thrilled with the fact that they lied to me about that. But at the end of the day, lesson learned. So I am considering possibly going to refrigerated. We'll see how things go at the beginning of the year. Usually January, February, March, it's horrible. And refrigerated is steady freight, and the big problem is the detention. If anybody has ever done refrigerated at night as an owner-operator, feel free to comment. Or even as a company driver, feel free to comment and let me know how it was. Because I am considering it. Anyhow, like I said, I'm doing alright. Things could be going better. Things could be going a heck of a lot worse. But yeah, feel free to leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Anyhow, drive safe. Keep the rubber side down, the shiny side up.